In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, Lord of the worlds, Master of the day of requital. Did we beseech for help? Guide us on the right path. On the path you bestow favors, not those you lead astray. Forgive us for our unjust behavior, our lies, our lust, our laziness. Protect us from the evil shaitan as he attacks from the left, the right, the front, the back, above, and below. All praises is due to Allah. All praise is due to Allah that came in the person of Master Farrakhan Muhammad to free us from these devils, to raise up the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Christ. My name is Eric Farad Muhammad, the Mahdi, the seventh angel of Allah. The name of this tape is the Mahdi Tapes, Part 9, Part 2. Farrakhan, Judas. Minister Farrakhan Judas gave a speech yesterday, which I found to be quite intriguing. It was one of the most amazing speeches I've ever heard in my lifetime on this planet. Now, a few months ago, Farrakhan Judas gave a speech where he said that we're not going nowhere. This is our land. This is what God promised us right here in America. Openly contradicting the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and everything he taught. Now, we're in this day. I listened to that speech where I want to just focus in on a couple things here. I want to focus in on the topic of God and the devil. Minister Farrakhan Judas stated that be careful, for every time that God left, the devil will come entering in. He also brought up the devil going forth and through the earth. And when the sons of God, the angels, were called before the Lord, he was with them. And he said, imagine their shock. What shock, brother? The angels, see, what you didn't teach them was the cow in the Holy Quran, the second surah. The cow, it describes Adam being created. Adam, when once made, all the angels looked around in shock and disbelief and said, whatever you created that was only going to create mischief on the earth. And Allah said, I know what ye know not. And Iblis was quite upset at this because he was not an angel. He was the top jinn. See, he had free will. Now, if you don't know what angels are made out of, and you don't know what jinn are made out of, angels are made out of light, pure light. Jinn are made out of smokeless fire. The difference between an angel and a jinn, as taught in the Quran, is that an angel does not have free will, yet the jinn do. Now, excuse me, Farrakhan Judas spoke on this devil being with the sons of God, and imagine their shock. And again, I say, what shock? What shock were the sons of God in? Because in the Quran, in the cow, when Allah breathed his spirit into Adam, the angels bowed down immediately, except for Iblis. See, Iblis was filled with the arrogance because he felt that he had spent eons serving Allah, and he did it by choice, that he deserved to be over the earth and not Adam. Yet, where did Iblis go? Because it says he was cast down onto the earth, right? And then he was to rule for 6,000 years. But the man, the original Adam, has been here since the beginning of time. So where did Iblis go? Iblis was put into Adam as well. He was the lower nature of Adam, and Allah's spirit was the higher nature of Adam. These are the things that I guess you didn't get those lessons, Iblis. So for you to think that you're equal to Allah, or to say that Allah and the devil are one and the same, is a misnomer. I am not an eloquent speaker as such as yourself. I was not trained by Malcolm and Honorable Elijah Muhammad. No, sir. So I do not even dare compare my orating skills to one as great as yourself. I stutter, as the prophecy said I would. The prophecies of Mahdi, the ones, the hadiths that said he would come at the age of 40, be a wealthy man, not necessarily a good man. All his wealth will be taken from him and he will be in prison. Those prophecies, brother. Now, Iblis' battle for man was from within man. And Yaqub decided to pull the devil out of man. The wisdom of Yaqub. So, was Yaqub evil or good? See, you touched on something yesterday, brother, where you spoke on God and the devil. Be careful, you said. And we all have a devil within us. So these lessons that you spoke on, I had to meditate and pray on these lessons that the devil taught to the believers. For you to point out that we all have devils within inside of us, this is very true. Most of your speech, 80% of it yesterday was truth. 20% of it was lies. You admitted that God was angry at nations, at man, and at yourself, and at the believers. What have you done, brother? Why is it that the angels call you Judas? The son of perdition, Dajjal, as taught by Islamic studies. Dajjal, from my understanding, was a great minister that taught for many, many years and led the people. Yet Dajjal had an ulterior motive. He was going to exalt himself to be the Messiah. He's going to, at the end, and lead the people to hell. The Antichrist. And the Mahdi was going to have to fight the Dajjal, and 90% of the believers were going to follow the Dajjal and not the Mahdi. This is Islamic prophecy, sir. Orthodox Islam for a sec. Now you must remember my background or education. I spent about 4 years with the nation. I spent quite a few years uh, with the Five Percenters. I spent about 5 or 6 years studying Orthodox Islam. Then it was Sufi Islam, Shiite Islam, Freemasonry, and my occult sciences. I studied those at a very early age. So my understanding was molded from a different variation of groups of study. Mm-hmm. So understanding Dajjal and understanding the Mahdi and the return of the Christ, the Messiah, the Christ, these titles I had to not figure out, because knowing Master Farad, when I did certain things, I was given certain titles. What titles were given to me? This is what I know is truth, actual fact. The Mahdi title was given to me. I earned that. Master Farad Muhammad, I earned that title as well. The Son of Man. Now, in the teachings of Supreme Wisdom, who causes earthquakes, who causes snow, hail, wind, and fire? The Son of Man. So that is the answer given to us in Supreme Wisdom. So the Son of Man is one that controls the environment. Yes or no? That's taught to us as in Supreme Wisdom. Now the Bible, the title of Son of Man is in the Bible and is used by Jesus. Now the Dajjal is a minister that served for many years. It doesn't say what school he came up out of, but he was a top minister that exalted himself to Messiah. And he had great magic with him. Now, the Mahdi has the angels with him, and he has a great understanding of the occult, numerology, and he has a great understanding of Islam. So much so, nobody on the earth has an understanding of Islam as the Mahdi. Now, we call Master Farad the Mahdi. We call him the Redeemer. Which one is he? Is he Allah in person? Or is he something lesser than that? Master Farad Muhammad is Allah in person. He bows down to no one in this universe or any other universe. So, do the orbs and the angels, aka the angels, do they bow down to Master Farad? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, excuse me, we're teaching on Judas Farrakhan. You openly aligned yourself with not only a devil, but 666, the beast, the mark of the beast. You have not addressed the charges that have been brought against you by a believer. Who is that believer? That believer is Eric Farad Muhammad. You only speak of your past record. However, this is the issue, sir. The issue is Dajjal had a past record. Dajjal was a great minister. Dajjal exalted himself to Messiah. This is you. Does y'all had some divine power that came from Satan himself? You have great power. You have great wisdom. You're being cleared by the devils themselves. Your people perish in what you call Medina. Why do we call Chicago Medina of the West and Detroit Mecca of the West? Because Detroit's Islamic population is the greatest in the West. There's more people in Detroit and in that area that are Muslims than anywhere in America. And Mecca and Medina is 246 miles away from each other, and so is Chicago and Detroit. Thus, Mecca and Medina. Under your watchful eye, with your headquarters being in Chicago and Detroit being 246 miles away, these two hubs of Islam are under constant attack by Satan. You have not lifted a finger to surround or to protect the believers. You have not grown the commerce of the nation. You have not built out anything for the people. They have nothing for self. Everything that they buy it from the enemy. You promote integration, but on the outside, you call it segregation, but all your members are going to white universities to get degrees. They're going to integrate into white society. At what point do they separate? All your members are a part of organizations or some type of multi-level marketing where it is white controlled and white ran. You have no black anything. You always say give, but when do you giveth? What have you given back to the people? What has the nation given back to the people? How much does it cost to get OT3 cleared? How much does a believer have to pay to get OT cleared by the devil? Now, this lesson of, excuse me, God, where you find God, you find the devil. They're not equal. God has one enemy, and one enemy only. That's nothing. Let me repeat myself. God has one enemy only, and that's nothing. When you go back to triple darkness, what is that? That is absolute nothing in every direction. Allah created himself out of nothing. So everywhere he turned was nothing. So he fights nothing. He puts structure where there's nothing. He puts light where there is nothing. He is destroying the nothing. That is Allah's only enemy. Nothing. Everything else is subservient to Allah. So how is the devil equal to Allah? Self-exaltation again by the devil, I see. As you exalted yourself as Jesus, the Messiah. Oh, I'm getting crucified in this hour. Now I go to the Quran where it states that Jesus was not crucified. And I'll go even deeper than that verse and say that Judas was crucified and shall be crucified in this day. the Christ returns to aid the Mahdi in this day against the Dajjal. Your victory is not in anything other than delivering as many people as possible to your master. That's what I said. Your duty is to destroy as many believers as you possibly can. But Master Farrakhan laid a trap for you, brother. The trap was, oh, when you're dead, you're dead. That's it. That's the trap. That was the trap in death. So the disbelievers thought they could escape into death, and they would be just as everybody's dead that dies. It's over with. They have nothing to worry about. Wrong. Wrong. Now, over the years, which has been millions and millions and trillions of years that has come and go, the Elohims have free will when they come in the physical. Yes, they do. And has there been some issues where the devil from within overtook that Elohim? Yes, that is correct. So, the Elohims, the sons of God, all are tested with free will and walking as a man. It's a gift, but it can yet also turn into a curse. Yet, there's not been an Elohim that didn't pass the test, because they wouldn't have been Elohim, sons of God, if they did. Now, Iblis was given time in the physical flesh as well. The son of perdition. I could not identify you because I saw a divine light in you. I saw power and force in you. And it made me fearful for a minute. It made me fearful of making the wrong choice and not passing the test that were put before me by Allah Himself. So I sat and I waited and I avoided the enemies. I watched and I studied and I prayed. And that was such a wisdom-filled speech. I said, oh, whoa, I could never top such an act of magic. Yet, I've been sitting all day, and I said, Father taught me many lessons, and some I did not grasp what was the purpose of the lesson at that point, but I grasped the purpose of it today. I say, any believer that believes that you're the Messiah, then follow your Messiah to hell. Go right ahead. Follow him. Go. We will be done with you in one moment. No problem. Those that stay faithful to Elijah will be with you in one moment. No problem. The time is ticking away. You have not months, You don't have weeks, you have a couple of weeks. That decides will you enter heaven on earth or will you go to hell on earth, or will you enter heaven of the spiritual heaven, or will you enter the hellfire, because they're all real. There's a lot that must be explained about Islam, that must be explained about Prophet Muhammad, must be explained about Master Farad and Middle Earth, and all the other realms and earths and planets and life. Yet Allah has decided that only the true believers will be allowed into paradise on earth, and paradise as in the 7-11s of heaven. All disbelievers will be cast into the hellfire in the physical and into the spiritual realm. There is no escape in death. There is no escape in life. Judas Farrakhan was given a litmus test. His litmus test was Eric Farad Muhammad. Sent like a thief in the night into America. He comes from within America to destroy America from within. Yet he went to the top minister and said, I have returned from my father. And he watched the minister move away from him and constantly stay away from him and stay in his zone and teach about Scientology and teach about new technology of the devil and teach about how they weren't going anywhere until it became unbearable for Eric Farad Muhammad. And Eric Farad Muhammad then attacked him, attacked the Messiah, attacked him in with verbal assaults, attacked him with letters, attacked him with emails, attacked him with Islam. And they said, woe to the hater. He hates the great one. No, I hate no one but Satan and his minions. Mr. Farrakhan admitted to all the believers yesterday, admitted that the wrath of God Almighty, the Son of Man, was present with the angels, and it was the end. But in his moment of darkness, he said, do not betray him and leave his side. Why is he in his moment of darkness if it's the end and the Son of Man and the angels are here? Why would he be in peril in this time? Because he's the son of perdition and he's a betrayer. He is Judas the betrayer. This is why he's in peril. This is why he doesn't want you to leave his side, because he worked all these years to betray you. If you leave him in this moment, it is for nil. Nothing. He just compared Satan with God yesterday. Said that they were equal. When God leaves, if you never noticed that, Satan appears. When the sons of God went before God, that Lucifer, Satan, was with them. Imagine their shock, he said. What shock? We know Satan as God knows Satan. Fool. Don't think we know who you are? Huh? They don't know who you are. Yet I was more concerned with the believers and how conditioned their minds were to believe in your nonsense, what they bought into. They drank the Kool-Aid. How was I going to get them away from it? But now at this point and in this day, I'm like, listen, if you don't accept the truth, you go right ahead with your devil. Go right ahead. Because I am not going to put on a fancy show. I'm not going to, oh, look, oh, love me, please, love me. No. You should have loved Elijah. You should have loved Master Farrakhan, because you have to understand that he came in physical form and suffered. He suffered through the same pains. He didn't just have his people suffer. Allah came in the person of Master Farrakhan and suffered as well. Then he sent me, and I am a tough son of a gun. I tell you that right now, no lie, but I have suffered too, and I have called out to Allah many days and many nights. Whoa, Allah. Judas Farrakhan. In your last days, you want to know why Eric Farrakhan Muhammad is stalking, mocking your ministers? Because you lie. Where is honorable in aligning the Nation of Islam with 6666 Hubbard? Where is that honor in that? Where is that honor in assassinating a man that has the power of God in him, that had God inside of him, that God was rising in him, in Khalid Muhammad? The assassination of Malik el-Shabazz. And you believers, you don't understand, or you don't want to seem to believe in what happened to Eric Farrakhan Muhammad, the attempted assassination of a millionaire, a multi-millionaire that had multitude of business deals on point, in line, that was going to help and aid the Nation of Islam. Oh, that's not true. Or is it true? Why does it take me having to put all this pressure on the Nation of Islam to do an internal investigation? When I'm on tape saying, do you want me to cause an earthquake or not? I'll come do it live. Well, guess what, believers? Guess what Eric Farrakhan Muhammad is doing for you? It is your day. So I promised my brother, Yusuf Bey IV, that we would get him out of California, maximum security prison, on 3 life sentences. I told the American government to let my brother go, the state of California. Let him go. He's one of the chosen.